Shalom, this relates to news. Russian Iskander missile knocks out American Patriot. Russian Iskander missile had reportedly struck and disabled U.S. supplied Patriot air defense system in Ukraine, escalating concerns over vulnerability in military assets. This is a Wyon report. It's bright out here, so you're not going to be able to see it really that good. Just a little bit of footage. It's called the Russian Patriot, the leader, Kiler. Alright, that's a Wyon. Get another one from Hindustan Times. Read some information on that. Not Ukraine. Putin gives new shock to Trump in Asia, relating to the embarrassment relating to the Patriot air defense system being disabled by the Iskander by a Russian missile. As Trump threatens action against Russia over Ukraine, Moscow delivers a fresh blow in Asia. Russian Prime Minister Sergei Lavrov, visiting North Korea, warned the U.S. that joint B-52, which are the large planes, BOMBER, drills with Japan and South Korea threatens the regional peace and could spark catastrophic consequence. The rebuke came a day after U.S. Patriot missile launch got stuck in Taiwan, triggering a global mockery. So pretty much a malfunction, dysfunction, whatever the case might be. So another reported question relating to the vulnerability of these pretty much military assets that, or militaries being sent to help in defense of Ukraine against Russia. Triggering global mockery, so these other nations are taking mockery and delight in it. Putin's strategy appears to be expanding fast. Has the U.S. lost its eastern edge? This is Hindustan Times video report. So, with all due respect, as time goes by, the inception, which is the beginning stage of a nation, when they begin and develop, become stronger, a period of time, as time goes down, even powerful nations begin to decline. And you're seeing the decline relating to America. The inception to the point of the highest apex, which is the highest point. Now you start to see the apex beginning to decline because it's coming closer and closer. Because a great nation A great country can only stay a great country for so long. There is a time period eventually where transitional change will come and take over, man. And you're seeing the transition start to begin. Starting economically, militarily, and etc. That was Wayan. You also had Hindustan Times. Now, of course, you have the DFB, FB, DF-5B, which is a missile, long range, 12,000. For how far and how long? Accuracy 500 meters. Launch weight 83 tons. That's the intercontinental missile. That's one of their long ranger boys, 12,000, which basically is capable of hitting anything in the United States, whether New York or whatever city, man, as it chooses, man. And other countries as well are developing missiles to potentially hit here. Let me get a scripture real quick. Fifty and 23. I'll go to 22. A sound of the battle is in the land of great destruction. 23. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? The hammer of the earth is the one with Babylon, man. Great power, blessed with the sword. This military might, you're seeing beginning to be cut, become broken, showing vulnerability, showing weakness. How has Babylon become desolate among the nations? That power that once was, how is it becoming desolate? I have laid a snare for thee. So a trap's being set, man. And different things are being used to trap Babylon. Even his own allies are going to be a snare and a trap to it. And thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found also and caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. Thou hast did certain things against the Lord. That's going against the Lord. So certain things the Lord is allowing to go against Babylon, man. The Lord has a controversy, an issue with Babylon. You know what I mean? Even where is remembered Sabaoth, man. You know what I mean? So the point is, judgments for Babylon, man. Now this word here, Mariathim, repeated rebellion. symbolic name for Babylon. And Babylon has repeated rebellion, going against contrary to the ways of the Lord. You know what I mean? So part of that rebellion is part of the judgment it's going to receive. Jeremiah 50 and 21, for example. The doom of Babylon. The doom of Babylon is what's going to be is destruction, man. You know what I mean? So Miriatham is a biblical term found in Jeremiah. Two things: double bitterness, double rebellion. So Miriam means bitterness, double rebellion. It's going to be bitter for Babylon, man. Double bitter and double rebellion. Let's continue with news. There was reports. Let me try to get something. There's a report I wanted. Velocity. Here we go. Let's see if I can show some of this. I'll show a little information on the video that I was doing, showing that. I'm going to read it. China publicly revealed detailed specifics of the DFB, intercontinental ballistic missile, capable of striking any target in continental U.S. with a nuclear warhead 200 times more powerful than Hiroshima. The unprecedented disclosure breaks decades of China's nuclear secrecy, marking a significant shift in the Beijing military communication strategy. Like I said, they're not a country one that advertises what they have, man. They do stuff behind closed doors. You know what I mean? They keep things in secret, man. That's the whole idea. They don't want you to know. They don't want their competition or competitors or adversaries or opposition to know certain things, man. Anyway, the DB-5B carries up to 10 independently targeted warheads, each packing 3 to 4 megatons of explosions with a range of 12,000 kilometers. Military analysts report China is expanding its nuclear arsenal by approximately 80 to 100 warheads annually, and has constructed 350 new ICBM intercontinental ballistic missile silos nationwide, and it wants to increase in 5 years 1,000, and by 2030 it also wants to be double in size than their adversaries or their opposition than Russia and China put together, than Russia and U.S. put together. They want to be larger than in number and volume than Russia and U.S. Like I said, each respected country wants to be the next superpower. Russia wants to be bigger than all. China wants to respectfully be bigger than all. And of course, U.S. wants to be bigger all. So it's a competitional thing internationally, relating to who is superior, relating to their military advancement and military equipment. So each country respectfully has to outdo one another. And the latest relating to technology, who has the best and be the best, man, in the matter of speaking. Let's continue reading. Revelations come in the midst of heightened U.S.-China tensions over Taiwan, and represents China's most explicit nuclear threat to date. The timing coincides with increased American missile defense deployments across the Indo-Pacific regions. You're seeing more naval operations in different areas of the world, Middle East and West Asia area, Taiwan and different parts of the world, man. You're seeing their increased presence relating to that. And by 2030, China's nuclear force could match both the United States and Russia in size, fundamentally altering global nuclear dynamics. That dynamics relates to the shift where these other countries can be potentially the dominant, not U.S. no more, man. Because that's the goal, man. Whether it's militarily and even economically. So that was Velocity video report. China shows off weapons that could reach the U.S., man. That's Velocity video. You're seeing a lot of videos relating to threats of war, man. Hearing the war, rumors of wars. Hearing the wars, rumors of wars. Be not trouble, for the end is not by and by yet. For nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, there shall be pestilent earthquakes in different places. For we in the times of sorrow, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom. That goes to realm. Except you could change that with realm against realm, which is that kingdom, man. You see in the realms, the powers, the superpowers versus the superpowers, man. Russia versus China versus U.S., etc., India, all these other nations, respectfully, because all wants to be relating to the next big thing, relating to superpower, man. And from an economical aspect, you have also certain countries breaking off relating to economically. For example, Saudi Arabia is siding more with China to make a deal and different things. And you have investors from an economical aspect are moving from trusting relating to, their doubts relating to in the U.S. and moving more into the Asian and European markets, man, because they see a high level of instability relating to this country as far as economically. They don't trust it no more like that. So they're moving and shifting relating to different things from U.S. to different other markets, Asian markets and European markets. I've seen now in the report. So you're seeing the decline. Like I said, there was a report says in war, any nation is vulnerable. It was in a comment report. In war, any nation is vulnerable, and any nation is vulnerable, man. Even the most powerful ones, man. They are vulnerable. Whether it's U.S., any of them, man. Whether economically, militarily, etc., man. And you're seeing the gaps, the fabric, the structuring and fabric and beginning to break, man. It's beginning to split, man. The materials beginning to split. It's the dilapidation, decadence, man. It's beginning. You're seeing it's beginning to show. The weakness, the vulnerabilities is beginning to show, man. Because it's time, man. Everything has its time and season, even under the heavens. 3:1 of Ecclesiastes. We're coming closer to the end of an age, relating to 2nd Ezra 14, man. For Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob's the beginning that follow. Esau's the end of the world. That relates to this rulership, man. Edom, man. This is their rulership, man. Because it's coming to an end, man. That's in 2nd Ezra 6, 7 through 9, man. So So this was just some news real quick. Oh, quick news. Let me see. EU won't retaliate relating to countermeasures relating to against the 30% tariffs, at least not until after August. Right now, they'll delay it right now, as for time being. You had an Oregon surgeon, Department of Justice drops charges relating to Oregon surgeon relating to dumping of VACCINES, and also relating to VICCINES So those charges are dropped relating to that by the DOJ, which is the Department of Justice. That's an Oregon surgeon. That's a medical thing. You had Karen Bass reaffirming relating to sanctuary policies, and also she wants to propose relating to cash aids for illegal migrants in California. 5 states are discussing similar measures in building like Alcatraz, Alligator Alcatraz, or Alcatraz Auschwitz. Let me look up something. Yeah, Alligator Auschwitz, which is pretty much a concentration camp. Auschwitz. That'll be another name for it, because that's what it is. So 5 states are proposing, perhaps following in the footsteps relating to Florida, relating to Alligator Alcatraz or Alligator Auschwitz, pretty much a detention or concentration CC. So they consider it as an option in 5 states, and more are going to probably follow suit, perhaps. Trump orders Chinese to divest related companies that divest in U.S. Interest in U.S. businesses. And what other news? Trump says U.S. to supply weapons to Ukraine via NATO. So that's good news, I guess, for Zelensky. He's glad to hear that. That was on the report. That's Wyon report. Let me see what we got. Trump defends Bondi over Epstein probe. Search for efforts suspended due to flood threats. New details of Air India flight crash. We had an incident with an air crash. Secretary Noon says FEMA should not exist. It is a current form after Trump's call for phasing it out. EU Commission President holds briefing after delaying countermeasures relating to the 30% tariffs as of right now, at least till after August. That could change. You had a bank rate talking about 27% of Americans have a side hustle. Bank analysts urge tough response to Trump's tariff threats. Sharon Hospital is one of hundreds of rural medical facilities endangered by Medicaid cuts. So you got hospitals through these Medicaid cuts are going to be threatened. You know what I mean? Lead to funding, different things, people, healthcare. You know what I mean? Etc. Wildfires in Black Canyon and Gunnison continues to grow. So wildfires. Robert Atlas discusses potential danger of proposed NOA. National Oceanic Atmospheric Association, I believe. Cuts in the twist. So funding cuts in different organizations. So as far as readiness and different things, they might not have it because of funding cuts. They won't be able to maximize and get the stuff they need for respectfully in their areas. All right. Trump administration slams a weak response after Israeli sailors blank delete U.S. citizen. Year anniversary today relating to the attempt on Trump's life, relating to Butler, PA. Trump to report in Texas, only a very evil person would ask you a question like that. Related to the media, I guess. So this is just different reports. You're seeing a lot of videos talking about economical collapse. You know what I mean? The trade chief warns U.S. economy could collapse. This is DRM News. Developing nations will survive. If one falls, they all fall, man. So this is just quick reports. Hobie House related to information. Zayal Wolf. Zayal Wolf.